to our grade 5 exhibition. My name is Keisha.
My name is Allegra.
My name is Ben.
My name is James. For the last 7 weeks, we have been working on the exhibition. During this time, we have been taking action and researching with books and the internet.
Before we started the exhibition, we thought that it would be very boring and extremely hard. And then when we found out that our topic was food, we thought it would be even more boring because, we already know what an apple is and what strawberry is. We don't need to learn it again. But then, after the exhibition was finished, now, we realized that it was much more, and that it was about the issues relating to food, and that food isn't just what's good for you and what's not.
We had to follow some guidelines to stay on track, though, including our transdisciplinary theme, our whole great idea, our line of inquiry, and our group's topic.
Our transdisciplinary theme was sharing the planet, which means sharing all the resources on this planet with everything that's on this planet. Our grade simple idea was food issues have a global impact. Our class idea was environmental issues relating to food. And our group's idea was chemicals in food have an effect on the environment. We chose this topic because we wanted to know how chemicals in food affected food producers, affect the environment, and if there is a way to do without them.
During the initial research, we realized how big the problem was. Chemicals were being used too frequently, either as additives, preservatives, ingredients, or pesticides.
As a team, while researching together, we would sometimes get a little off task. Like, we would usually talk about, latest movies, latest TV shows, what we would do if we had superpowers or not.
Even though we did have some problems working as a group, we would always get on track. And something that is good about working in a group is that if we can share thoughts, ideas, and information, and if we ever have a problem where we can't decide ourselves, we can always ask each other.
First, we all decided on individual topics that we were most interested in. Then, we would tell our homeroom teacher, and they would put us in the classroom that depended on what we wanted to study.
We then got into groups of 2 to 4 members, and we chose our group topic. Ours was chemicals in food and the effect on the environment.
Whenever we found any information in or out of school, we would put it in our Evernote account. Evernote is where you can keep all your information and more than one person can be on it at the same time.
And now my friend Keisha's going to show us our Evernote account.
So this is our Evernote account. So as you can see, we can keep all our notes in here. And so we would always keep if we had any of our facts, we would put our resources in somewhere along the way. And it was a really helpful site because this is where we kept all our information, and whenever we used anything in our presentations, we could just refer here. Another site that we used was called SurveyMonkey, and it was also really useful because we sent out a survey to the 4th graders, and we used it to make a survey, and it was really easy to use, and it was a really helpful site. And this is a SurveyMonkey account.
When we were out of school, we would schedule times to Skype and communicate with each other. Any other problems we would have, we would talk to our fantastic mentor, Miss Benton.
One of the shocking facts we found was that additives in the form of food dyes are derived from petroleum, which is basically oil, and are present in almost all foods, even as something as innocent as gummy bears.
Another interesting thing we found out was that farmers give their animals and other livestock steroids and antibiotics. Their release increased amounts of methane gases, and according to the FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, 20% of greenhouse gases are due to livestock production.
According to the Southern Illinois University, pesticides in food production are also found to contaminate water bodies, which affects sea life. Spraying from air gets blown away by the wind.
Another very interesting thing we found out was that during the exhibition, a lot of our groups had gone to a chicken farm, and one of the lady there, Monica, she told us that in other countries, a lot of times they give prevention antibiotics to a lot of livestock, even when they don't need them, just so that they won't get sick. And this is banned in Switzerland because it's not right. It's not good for us because they became immune to if the antibiotics didn't work on them when they really needed them, and if we eat those chickens or cows, then that can happen for us too. And then when we really need it, then it won't work for us.
We were so shocked by these findings that we want to share this information and raise awareness.
What we did is that we went down to the fourth graders and we told them, we gave them presentations on what we learned. We think we were successful because
We conducted the survey before and after we presented to the fourth graders. As you can see on the graph, we changed the opinions for the better. For example, for the results of the third question, it changed from 5.41% before our presentation to 0% after.
These are some of the sources we used for our information that we found.
We'd also like to give a big thanks to Ms. Zender, who was our mentor. She helped us a lot with any problems that we had finding information, anything that we just didn't understand. And also big thanks to Mr. Allen, who was our exhibition classroom teacher and helped us a lot with all of the presentations that we did. And we'd also like to say thank you to everybody for listening to us. And we would now like to invite any questions that you may have.
I have a question about methane and its effect on global warming. I just saw a headline yesterday that said dinosaurs changed the Earth way back when. And I didn't finish the article, but perhaps through your studies you guys can share with us the effect of methane and why it's changing or affecting global warming.
Well, as you know, methane is a gas. So, just like any petroleum greenhouse gases, it is one of the greenhouse gases. So, because of the steroids, they produce increased amounts more than they should have. And that goes into the atmosphere, and that's a big part of global warming.
Can one of you tell me where do we find additives? What kind of food?
You can find them in cookies and candies, and some of the additives in them could be like food coloring. And comments too?
So this whole experience of researching and how has it affected each one of you personally? What changes would you all make in the kind of diet food that you all consume?
Well, one of the things that we found out was that gummy bears use a lot of petroleum in the food dyes. So I have completely stopped eating gummy bears. And because we were thinking that when we read it, we're like, I'm pretty sure we're humans, not cars. So.
What about the others? What about all of the rest?
But there's many other foods that also have petroleum.
You have to remember that lots of things
be
are
aware of
derived
that.
from oil and petroleum from things like soaps and whatever. I mean, it's all finely. It's a long way from the crude oil that you start with to what you get at the end. So I wouldn't be too scared that they are derived from petroleum, but by the time they get to where you're eating them, I don't think they're going to be a health hazard by the end of the line. They used to make dyes from cochineal insects many, many years ago to get red, for example. And I think in Switzerland, actually, the control, and the UK and other countries, is huge on colorants and things and additives like that. So I think they'll need those views.
Have you researched which countries or area in the world are most affected by pesticides and additives, etc.?
Well, Switzerland, more than 1/4 is livestock production, but here it's like a very good way. It's like the natural habitat.
Mhm.
In Africa and stuff, there is a lot of farming, but we didn't really go into that because we were mainly looking for what pesticides they use and things like that.
What have you learned from working in a group? From working in a group?
But it's not always easy because
Did you guys choose one group leader and then this person, basically gave the direction of the presentation, or how did you guys do it?
And there's a lot of disagreements.
Okay.
So how did you all overcome it? How did you all finally agree on things?
You eventually decide. You get so tired you have to decide.
There's no end, so you give it.
But have you learned something then for the next group assignment to do better?
yeah, that you have to compromise a lot of times, and it's not always going to end up being your way.
That's a big lesson to learn, let me tell you. not only in school.
I was pretty impressed with the technology you had, because when I was in school, we did not have Evernote. Did you all have to learn that to do this project, or was that something you already knew how to use?
Well, Evernote, SurveyMonkey, they were pretty easy to use, and we didn't know them before. PowerPoint, obviously knew how to do for presentation, and one of the things for this exhibition, it had to be all electronic, so we can make it look very good.
Did you all enjoy this way of learning? Would you all like to do this again?
Yeah.
Well, they make a hard copy of
Very
this.
interesting.
Fantastic.